Hey guys. Okay, so I'm going to be talking to two of you guys at once because I'm going to move you guys up a little bit. Here we are because I'm also live on Instagram and I wanted to make sure that you guys can see me. All right. So, while you are here, let me know where you're coming in from. A lot of you are going to be catching this on the replay because it's 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but this is the only time I could go live. As you can see in my surroundings here, I am in a theater backstage in the costume room. This is really where they get ready. This is the backstage, lights, wigs, costumes, all the things at my husband's theater. He's the chair of the fine arts department here at this university. And I am doing a lecture today on marketing to the students. I'm excited. So what I wanted to do was just come here and be with you for a second. So hi to my friends over on Instagram. Just stick with me. I have this 2 or 3 different posts, y'all, about castor oil, frankincense, and face taping, and they have blown the up. And I have over 8,000 comments. And what I want to do is kind of throw out all of the facts and the myths about castor oil, face taping, frankincense, and what you should be doing if you're really trying to beautify your skin, if you're trying to look at the things that are really good at anti-aging. So I want to just kind of give you an oil 101, especially castor oil and frankincense. That's all we're talking about today as far as the oils on your skin and the taping. And if you have any questions, make sure, hey, Tamara, thanks for coming in. And if you are coming in, let me know where you're coming in from. A lot of you, again, if you're on the replay, let me know where you're coming in because it lets me know that you're watching it and happy to answer any questions that you have. So as I'm talking, drop those questions inside of this live. Drop your questions inside of this live, and I will come back and answer them later, I promise. But because I was inundated with not only almost 9,000 comments and thousands of questions, I also got them in my inbox. And I don't want you guys to have to wait for these answers because it's really important because your face is important. I don't want you feeling like you're doing something to your skin that could damage your skin. And a lot of people are going to jump on here and say, oh, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad. You need to know how to do it properly and know that it is okay. But I do want to teach you just a few little tricks of the trade so you know how to do this properly. And I want you to feel confident when you do this. So for anybody that has their castor oil or doesn't have their castor oil, let's start there. So if you do castor oil at all, I have 2 different brands that I use, but they are both very similar. They have in common the things that yours must have in common or don't use it. You can't buy a $20 bottle of castor oil in a big plastic jug and go, well, I got this. That's not going to work because castor oil is the deepest penetrating oil on the planet. That's what makes it so medicinally powerful, so powerful. So you have to be very careful with it. That means that you don't want anything that's not cold pressed. Now, if you need to write it down, listen to this again. But these are the things that are vital to you choosing a good castor oil. If they don't have these, don't get it because you don't want something that penetrates all the way down to the bone to have impurities in it, right? Nobody wants that. That could cause all kinds of issues and even allergies and adverse effects to your skin. We do not want that. So you want to make sure this is one that I'm showing you today, but I do use another one by Mayan Secret. That's incredible that you can find on my TikTok. So if you're looking at TikTok, you're going to find Mayans. If you're looking here on my site, which you can find my site under my profile pic here on Facebook, on Instagram, even on TikTok. But I'm going to also drop it in the link here afterwards so you can go and look for it. But this is the one that you're going to find. Why do I use this one opposed to the other one? I use the other one because you can get it on TikTok and a lot of people aren't on TikTok. But this one is a mom and pop company that I absolutely love because they sell other products that I promote, which is, and I'm going to show that to you quickly because it's important. And it's the French Celtic salt. So if you guys aren't using this, I'm going to explain it briefly because I'm not really here to talk about this, but I use this to hydrate my skin. To hydrate my skin. That's important. A lot of people are like, wait a minute, I have high blood pressure, I have hypertension, I have blood sugar levels. I don't think that I should be doing this. Sodium makes you retain water, all the things. Now understand that the daily allowance of sodium every day is 1,500 milligrams for anybody that does have high blood pressure or heart issues. So what I teach you is to take this, and when you take this, just a pinch of it with every glass of water, which should be 6 to 8 glasses of water a day, you're not going to go over 500 milligrams of sodium. So understand that. But why would you take this? We'll get into that later. Stick with me because this is what's going to hydrate your skin from the inside out. Super important, right? Okay, so going back to the castor oil, stick with me. Castor oil has to be in. There's no like, I can't really stress this enough. We cannot just haphazardly get a castor oil. Okay, so the things that I say are facts here, and you can even do your research. And I've been doing this for a long time. So this is glass. It's tinted glass, just like you would get tinted glass on your olive oil, I hope, because it protects the oil from heat, it protects it from light. And so that's really important when you have something as incredible as this that penetrates as deep as it does. So tinted glass. Number 2, I already said cold press. Number 3, it has to be organic. And then one of the most important things is that it needs to be hexane free, Hexane, hexane free. That keeps all impurities out of it. So you know that when it has all of those things on the bottle, so read those labels or get the one I recommend because I've done my research and I've been using it for nearly a year. It's done incredible things to my skin, y'all. It's taken 10 years off my face. I'm 52 years old. And I absolutely love it. So make sure that you either get the one that I'm recommending or the one on TikTok, which is Mayan Secret, same thing, or make sure that when you research to get your own, that it has all of those qualities. So what I also use is frankincense. Now understand, frankincense, while it's an incredible essential oil, I mean, it has like anti-disease qualities, and we're not going to get into that, but a lot of people that are experiencing or living with some diseases, their doctors even recommend this on a towel wherever the disease is in their body. So this isn't astringent though. That means that you don't put it directly on your skin. It has to have a carrier oil. Now you can use jojoba if you like jojoba and you've been using it and you trust it. I'm always going to recommend castor oil because of the medicinal properties. Why not have a double win, a double score by using 2 incredibly powerful tools, right? But if you use it on your face, this is one of the biggest questions that I get. One of the biggest questions is, how much do I use? How many drops of castor oil, or rather frankincense? How much castor oil just for one use on the face? Before I get into that, let me explain to you about castor oil. A lot of people want to debunk this and say, oh, unless you're buying a $50 bottle of frankincense, it's not going to work. That's not true. You have to make sure, though, that it is in a tinted glass bottle as well, that it's organic, right? Organic, that's not a word, organic. But you also need to make sure that you're using the right kind. Now, the Boswellia plant is what it's derived from, and it has been proven through years and years of research. But not only that, how about, let's go back thousands of years, right? I mean, even baby Jesus was given the gift of frankincense because of how special it is, how coveted this essential oil is, and what it can provide. One of the main things that it provides is it is an anti-inflammatory. The Boswellia plant is an anti-inflammatory. So what does that mean? It could take puffiness and redness out of your skin. It's going to start lightening a lot of the age spots. It's going to also even out the tone. It takes inflammation out, and that's what's so really powerful about this. But here's another really incredible thing that has been proven about frankincense. I'm taking it one step farther. This can help anyone that has asthma. It can even help people that have arthritis. So if you're taking the castor oil, which also has the medicinal properties to help with different pain in areas of your body, you could take the castor oil and the frankincense. Now, the parts are never going to change. It's always going to be 2 to 3 drops to every half teaspoon of castor oil. Okay, so when you provide that in places that you have arthritis and either wrap them or whatever you choose to do, maybe it's on your face or your neck, it could be anywhere, then make sure that if you're going to use a castor oil pack that you're using it really to keep the oil in place, but also not to stain your clothes. It has been proven over and over and over and over again to help with asthma, to help with arthritis, and help with anti-inflammatory issues, or inflammatory issues rather. That's why it works on the face. That's what makes me so happy. And that's why I've had these incredible results. I have been super dedicated to it. I'm very consistent with it. The other question, now let me just say it one more time. For your face or for anything, it's 2 to 3 drops to every 1/2 teaspoon. Okay. So that's what I use on my face after I take my makeup off at night when I go to bed. And that's also what I do first thing in the morning after I wash my face. I'll let it sit on my face for 5 or 10 minutes, and I can replace, or I rather, I could either wipe it off if it's a little too heavy. And then what I'm going to do is put my primer on. So I stopped wearing like foundation. You know, at 52 years old, you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. If any of you are going through this, drop me below. Like you don't really want to wear the foundation, but you feel like you need it as you get older because the pores are getting bigger around the nose, the forehead, and the chin, right? That your skin is a little discolored. We start seeing little veins in places, and we're like, I really need the foundation. And you're on the hunt for foundation all the time. You're like, you're going to Ulta and Sephora, and you're trying to get everything online that's going to work with your skin that's aging. And then what we do is we put it on and we look up at our face, you know, with your glasses on, and you're like, oh my gosh, it looks worse. I look like an iced birthday cake. That's what it looks like. It looks like I've iced a birthday cake. There's so much smudge, and it doesn't seem to look right with my pores, and it's all ruddy, and you're like, God, I'm like one of those paintings that you got to stand really far back to actually take it in, because when you get close it gets messy. That's basically what we feel like when we're applying too much foundation to hide any of the scarring or the big pores or the discoloration, right? Yes, Deborah, exactly, baby, right. So what I wanted to do was find a way to start healing myself, find a product that would hide it. How about heal it? Now, did I believe in it in the beginning? For the last 2 years, I've been seeing everybody talk about castor oil. Did I believe in it? Not really. I think only because as I was getting older, I just thought, I just need to accept this. That's cool. You get older, you're going to get the laugh lines, you're going to get the crow's feet. I don't mind the laugh lines and crow's feet. I just didn't want the ruddiness. I didn't want the redness, the inflammation, the dark circles under the eyes, the puffy eyes. I didn't want all that. I wanted to be able to walk around with healthy skin that glows like I did when I was 20 years old without having all the makeup. So when you get close to me, you can see, well, look at her. Her face is natural, but it's glowing. Well, it's glowing because it's healthy from the inside out. So that's what I've proven over the last 10 years 10 months rather, sorry, 10 months is by using the castor oil and the frankincense every day, twice a day. And then about 4 or 5 months ago, I started adding in the taping because I saw a very reputable source. I started doing my research. I even talked to estheticians. I wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to hurt my skin and make it worse. And then, of course, I needed to know what kind of tape because there's so many tapes out there. There's like companies dedicated to face taping. And I wanted to make sure that with the castor oil, just hear me out, because it's so deep penetrative, I needed to make sure that whatever tape I was using was not going to penetrate with the oil, right? So that was one of the big questions that people were asking. Isn't the tape or the adhesive going to actually penetrate down in your skin too? Yikes, that's crazy. And you're right. That is a great question that you should be asking. And so when I did my research and I talked to estheticians and I even talked to spa owners and all the people that were doing this every single day, dermatologists, some dermatologists believe in it, some dermatologists don't believe in it. So what I needed to do was prove that there was a tape that worked. And so the one that was recommended to me was hypoallergenic, non-irritable, and medicinal, right? That's used on patients that may have severe wounds or like severe burns. So consider that. Would a doctor or a nurse apply some type of tape over a wound that was not hypoallergenic, that was not organic, that was not non-irritable, because you're constantly having to change wound bandages, right? So that's what made me go, I'm onto something here. Somebody recommended it and I thought, okay, this is what I'm going to try. So I immediately went to what I knew to be true because I'm a mother of five and raising five children, there's lots of wounds, there's lots of accidents. And so the tape that I always trusted and used was recommended to me by a doctor in the hospital after one of my kids had stitches, severe stitches over the eye, had 13 stitches. And this was the tape. So I went back to this tape. And this is the tape that we all know. It's 3M Next Care. 3M Next Care. Now, this is the paper version, and that's what's really important. Not the other one, not the one that you see, the clear one. It's actually the paper tape. I just want you to look at it. Almost looks like a Biore strip. I keep comparing it to Biore because it's the same type of material. But it's, again, hypoallergenic, and it's non-irritable, and it's paper. Because why? Why paper, y'all? Paper is more gentle on the skin and it will lift. But when you apply it, and here's the big question because no one believed this. When you apply it with the oil, it's not going to stick, right? How could it possibly stick over oil on your face? It's going to fall right off. Well, it does stick. And I needed to make sure that if it does stick, and of course, when it adheres to it, that it comes off easily. So I showed that in a video. If you haven't seen the video, I'm going to drop the video in here. If you're allergic to adhesives, then don't do them, Barbara. I recommend the oils though. Some people are allergic, and I'm going to get into that in just a second. So, moving forward, I started using this on my face. I first started on my forehead, and then I did it on the 11 between my eyebrows, and I did it on my crow's feet. I did it on my laugh lines and across my mouth. And a lot of people were laughing. They're like, that has to be really hard to sleep in. Well, it's not, because it does actually adhere within 5 minutes, and you just massage it on. After you've massaged the oil on, you just keep massaging the tape on for about 10 seconds on each strip, and it sticks. The next morning, be careful because it's firm. When you take it off, you're going to see that you're taking off like the first layer of that skin, but what comes off with it is dirt, oil, and dead skin cells. And so that's why I recommend only doing it once a week. Do the castor oil and the frankincense every single day. I do it twice a day. You can do it once. It's up to you, whatever your desired level of results are and how fast you want to see those results. But you can put the castor oil and the frankincense under your eyes and over your eyes, and it's going to help firm up the skin and take the inflammation out of your eyelids. Genetically, I come from a family that has the flap over eyelids as you get older. My father even had the surgery to have them removed, and he said to me about a year after he had them removed, because he looked so different, it's like he looked like a little Sharpay when he was 70, and when they removed them you could see his eyes again. But he told me, he's like, I wish I'd never done it. It was a really painful procedure, and I've had dry eye ever since, and I believe that, right? So imagine, instead of having to have that surgery, that you're putting the concoction of the castor oil and the frankincense over your eyelids. Do not get it in your eyes, but put it under your eyes and over your eyes, and it's going to firm out that skin. It's going to take the discoloration out. It's definitely going to take out all of that inflammation that's causing the puffiness, and it's going to start lifting those eyes. Now, I will drop a picture of my face in here after this. Come back and look at this, or go watch the last video that I did on castor oil taping here on Facebook and Instagram and on YouTube. I want you to go look at that picture in that video. I will drop it here before, but it was my face just 5 years ago, y'all. 5 years ago. I'm 52, so I was 47 years old when I took that picture. You see the flaps already forming when I was 47, and they were already starting to bulge out, and you cannot see them now after using the castor oil and the frankincense. They're disappearing. And for me to go from 47 with a full face of foundation to 52, no foundation, just a primer. It's not even a tinted primer. It just makes your skin glow. It's a great primer. That's extraordinary. Okay, that's an extraordinary thing. So let me read your questions, and we're going to keep moving on. Patricia, organic moringa oil is really good too. It is. It's a great carrier oil. Okay, so Barbara, I'm going to jump into adhesives here in just a second that could be irritating to your skin. So if you've never used any type of taping on your skin before, like if you've never had a wound and you don't know how your skin is going to respond to taping, then let me give you a suggestion. And this is what I suggest to everyone that buys the castor oil, the frankincense, and gets themselves the tape, or they want to start taping. But let me look at these questions really fast. Tamara says, I used the clear. It was so sticky next day, but I'm so shiny. Oh my gosh. It's crazy, right? It's so funny how shiny your skin is and how new it looks. Your skin looks new. Do you know, like after a wound, when the wound is healed, or maybe you've burned your skin, and like 2 or 3 weeks later, that skin is so smooth. It's new skin, right? That's what's happening to your face. It's renewing. It's rejuvenating your face with the castor oil and the frankincense. So let me see, Deborah, amazing. I saw one of your other videos, and I'm trying this immediately or sooner. Yeah, get it, get it, get it, get the stuff. I always recommend the one that I have simply because I've tested it. It's tried and true. And boy, did I do my research before I got these oils, because I wanted to make sure, you guys, I live with an autoimmune. I'm allergic to everything. Like I'm allergic to lavender. I can't have lavender anywhere near my body. I can't get detergents with lavender in it. I cannot be near lavender. Sometimes I can even breathe in lavender, and my skin will break out in a really horrendous rash, and it's very painful. As a matter of fact, with my autoimmune, it's a neurological autoimmune, and so it hits my neurotransmitters. And if my body gets overstressed because of the lavender, I'll break out in shingles. So I have to be very, very careful about what I put on my body and in my body. And I'm sure many of you are like that as well. So that's why I can say with all faith and a good, clear conscience that the castor oil and the frankincense works, and it can work on sensitive skin too. Colleen, what is the brand, the name of the tape, and where do you buy it? Thanks. You can go to the link. I'm going to put the link here, or you can go back to my last video that I did on face taping here on Facebook and Instagram, and you'll see in the header, you'll see the link. Okay, it's taplink.cc/Nicole Dormeray. Very, very simple. But after this video, I'm going to put it here because I don't think that I did. Oh, no, here it is, y'all. I can't believe I made it. So I'm going to leave that there. That's where you can go. Now, if you want to just click on it, then you can click on it after this video because I'll put it in there. But this is what I want you to do. If you did get the castor oil, if you did get the frankincense, if you did get the tape, and the tape again is the 3M Next Care. Can you get it at Walgreens? I think so. I think you can. But I made it really easy for you, and I put the link to it on Amazon because you can get it in bulk, or you can just get, you know, like I think a double. And it's so inexpensive. You're like paying $3. It's ridiculous. So I did put that link inside of this. So if you go to taplink.cc/Nicole Dormeray, you're going to scroll down to anti-aging oils. You're going to see the castor oil, the frankincense. I even put my favorite jojoba there, and you're going to see my tape there. Okay, so you can get it that way, or you can buy it somewhere else. I just wanted to make sure you knew we could get it. So anybody that has issues with taping, or you don't know if you do, what I want you to do when you get your castor oil and frankincense is I want you to blend. Just put